Welcome in to Jordan Hare Stadium, the home of the Auburn Tigers, and it's a very critical SEC matchup between the Miami Hurricanes, who are on the road here tonight. I'm David Roy, and in the booth with me is Mike Peters, the commissioner of the CFSL. And Mike, a very important game for both teams, but for Auburn, looking to be only the second team in CFSL history to win 9 consecutive games.
It's a tough accomplishment. It's not easy to win 8 in this league, much less 9. We only saw it once with Washington/Hawaii in season 2/3. We'll see if Auburn can do it. Miami's beat them the last 2 times they've played. We'll see if they can do it again.
Miami will start with the ball as Blaze Gunner going to try and set up his quarterback, Jose Bueno, with a pretty good opportunity here. And there is Nick Bagg, Blaze Gunner's counterpart, who Mike has not quite seen as much action as he maybe would have thought this season.
Well, he's started off kind of mediocre. I mean, he's getting 5 or 6 catches a game. They're just not very long passes, so they haven't really been able to optimize his utilization.
Midline read for Jose Bueno, and thanks to Micah Myers, he stumbles backwards for a loss of 3.
Well, Micah Myers had a nice game last week, and he comes up here and trips up Bueno on the early possession. I thought they were going to get Bagg involved early on with maybe an end around. They used him as a decoy, and it didn't work out well for him.
Long second down, and Bueno is in the pistol. Halfback screen to the left side of Marcus Duncan finds a crease. Duncan across midfield and all the way out to the Auburn 44.
Well, everybody likes the halfback screens when you block them well, and you got an athlete like Marcus Duncan back there that can make the catch, turn upfield, utilize speed, follow his blockers, and get a big play. They do that there, well executed there by the Hurricanes for the nice game.
Miami coming in to tonight. Marcus Duncan in particular, 75 carries, 398 yards on the ground, and 3 rushing touchdowns, but only 16 catches, and he's caught a touchdown pass this season, as Duncan will get this carry for the 3rd play of the drive, and he'll pick up 6 yards.
Well, we were introduced to Marcus Duncan in the Army-Navy Newcomer All-American game, and he looked like a highlight reel running back in that game, and he's proven it throughout this season. It's been a difference maker for this Miami offense.
Miami will look to continue to keep him involved here tonight, as Bueno will not do it on that play. Instead, a quick throw up the seam there for the walk-on Keith Cross.
Well, they go to their halfback, too. Not sure why you got a guy like Duncan back there. You got Bagg and Gunner out there, and you're going to your walk-on backup halfback, but it works for the first.
Nick Bagg, single receiver, bottom of the screen, and Marcus Duncan bottled up. Micah Myers there in the backfield yet again, and that brings up another long second down.
Well, Micah Myers is coming on here this season. His senior season, he had 5 tackles, 3 for a loss last week in knocking off the undefeated Florida Gators, and he's starting off with a big game here.
Bueno to throw. Pressure coming. He's going to check it down for Duncan, who's going to fight and wrestle with Bubba Bullard, who finally drives him out of bounds. It's a gain of 7.
Well, Bubba Bullard's kind of the lost soul in this defense with OPP and Callaway out there, but comes up and makes the nice stop.
Bueno, halfback screen right side. That's Marcus Duncan. He's got another first down with it as Duncan stopped by Bullard yet again, but Marcus Duncan making the halfback screens work for the Hurricanes.
Well, we'll have to see if they can keep this up all night long, but early on it looks like Miami's maybe blocking or running these as well as we've seen anybody do it in the 7 seasons of this league. Marcus Duncan, the beneficiary of great blocking once again, and Miami in a good spot here with the 1st and goal.
All spotted at the 8 as Bubba Bullard on 2 consecutive plays was called upon to stop Marcus Duncan as Bueno looks to throw. Going to take off and run as he finds the alley, gets away from Conrad Wallace and into the end zone for the early touchdown.
Well, Jose Bueno has been very good at this, not only this season, but most of his career. We talked about his ability to run. He's a big guy with decent speed. He sees an opening there. He fights through the tackle of the defensive end and into the end zone. Good drive there by the Hurricanes to take the early lead here on the road. That is very important if they want to pull off the upset.
Rigby Bronson makes this a 7-point game, and Mike, you talk about that being important because on the other side of the ball in Auburn is a quarterback in Griffin Jelkic who's only turned it over once this season, and that was last week.
Well, he's been kind of uncanny, the role that he has been on lately. You go back all the way to that championship game last year, And he's got 19 touchdowns and only 1 interception, encompassing just 5 games. It's been quite impressive. We'll see if Miami can do anything to throw him off rhythm.
Jelkic rolling right, throwing to that side, and there's Matt Suarez, the 3-star, catching up there for the first down. It's a gain of 14.
Yeah, nice little out route over there, and he finds his 3-star for the first down. And a good way to start for Auburn is to get a first down right off the bat. They got Robert Davis back there. Blitz, though, coming from Miami.
Pistol said is Jelkic motioning his tight end over to the right side as Robert Davis going to get the carry. He'll pick up 2 yards, and Mikey played well against Miami the last time. 16 carries, 103 yards, and a score.
Well, Robert Davis is really come on strong. Maybe didn't put up the numbers that a lot of people thought he did as far as yards per carry, but he's been a monster this season, starting off with 200 yards against USC.
That pass thrown out of bounds. And you mentioned that, Mike, last week, the first time all season for Robert Davis that he was held to less than 50 yards, let alone 100.
Well, yeah, he had 205, 128, 117, then 48. He's been going down. We'll see if he can turn it upwards this game.
Important third down conversion here is Robert Davis on the halfback string, trying to get outside, and he'll only get 3 yards as this Miami defense, with Perry Pennell getting in there, will stop Auburn from converting.
Well, Auburn not able to block that the way that Miami was the first 2 times that they ran the halfback screen. And so Miami gets the stop in an important drive here. If Auburn can get the stop, everything's good. But if Miami can go up 10 or 14, they really put the pressure on the Tigers.
Blaze Gunner not going to get a lot on that return, but Mike, out comes Jose Bueno, who had the touchdown run on the previous drive.
Well, he did, and he's capable of doing it. They're going to have to look at maybe keeping a spy in there to keep him in the pocket.
Bueno to throw, pressure coming, trying to take off, and there to pop him with the shoulder pad is Mark Callaway.
Well, and this is one of the things that Bueno did really well early on in the season. He struggled with the last 2 weeks. He's taken more sacks than anybody that's ever played this game in this league, and he takes one there, and that's what happens sometimes. As he drops back, he tries to run. Blitz is coming, there's nowhere to go. He's got to stand in the pocket, and he takes the stack and save.
Bueno to throw here, going halfback screen, this time to the left, and Marcus Duncan not going to be able to get that one to work for him because there to stop him yet again, Micah Myers, his 3rd tackle for a loss.
Well, I was going to say in basketball they call that a heat check. You see if it's still working, so you go back to it. That time, it looks like Micah Myers with the heat check as he is playing big here early on in a quick and early 3rd and 16 here for this Miami offense.
And Mike, you talk about that Auburn defense, Mark Callaway and OPP. Some people forget about Micah Myers, and he is putting on a show saying, "Remember me," as Bueno going halfback screen to the other side, and Marcus Duncan flat out drops it.
I don't even think that made that to Duncan. I think that might have been Conrad Wallace that got his hand on it. But either way, a drive that Miami would like to forget.
3 and out for the Hurricanes as they punt it back here to Auburn. It's Cross Ferry the 3rd on the return. Ferry outside, and he'll get across down to about the 47. But Mike, you mentioned it before that drive started. That was a stop that Auburn needed.
It was, and I heard it in your voice. A little bit of raised octave. You thought Ferry might get outside on that punt return.
I had high hopes, and they were not met. As Jelkic play fake to the middle, and Bubba Davis, high hopes for that play, and they pay off as he gets a first down.
Well, they brought the house with a cover 3 shell behind it, and Jelkic does a good job of finding Davis behind the blitz and in front of the defenders for the first down.
Midway through this opening quarter and this opening game of week 5, and Robert Davis with the carry, and right up the middle, he'll get 2 yards there as Pennell gets off the edge to stop him.
Well, Braxton Lee, I almost was going to call Buster Bates, gets in there to slow him down, and was a big part in getting that stop and limiting him to just 2 yards.
Pistol set, 2 tight ends on the field, 1 to either side, but they're going to motion that second tight end over to the left. And Davis running that side, showing power through 1 tackle, but not through a second, as he is stopped for a yard just in time there with the tackle.
Leroy Sanders was the first one in there. Former Auburn Tiger got released from the team in the offseason, signed with Miami, and he would like to stick it to his old team.
Bit of a homecoming game here for Leroy Sanders as Jelkic out to the flats on the right side of Bubba Davis. He cannot get a first down there as this Miami defense once again holds, and Mike, another 4-play drive for Auburn.
Well, we'll get the chance to see the greatest kicker who's ever kicked in the history of the CFSL. At least there's that.
A 46-yard field goal attempted from the right hash, and Fryer Cook delivers for Auburn and their first points of the night.
Cook has only missed 2 field goals in the last season and a half. One All-American last season, now 14 of 15 on the season this year, and on pace for yet another All-American nomination.
Blaze Gunner going to bring this one out of the end zone, and Blaze Gunner finding a crease, breaks one tackle, finally brought down, though, at the Miami 48. And, Mike, how much is that field goal work for Auburn, especially given that return by Gunner?
Well, I mean, any points are good. You would not have preferred to given up that long of a kick return, but that was the tight end, Michael McKenzie, the one that caught him and slowed him down and keeping it from breaking it down the sideline.
Michael McKenzie so far not been really utilized. Cannot say the same, though, for Micah Myers. 3 tackles, all 3 of them in the backfield. Jose Bueno from the pistol. Pumps left. Gonna take off and run. Stumbles, ball comes free. And Miami will recover. Jose Bueno losing 6 yards, though, for his Hurricane.
Yeah, Bueno looked really good the first 2 weeks of the season. He's kind of fallen on old habits here as he tries to take off and run again. And he gets tripped up by his walk-on tight end, Billy Wilson. Can't go anywhere. Conrad Wallace gets in there. Ball comes loose. And Miami, despite a great opening drive, leaving a little something to be desired the last couple of drives.
Backed up to their own 40, and Bueno, read option keeper, Jose Bueno breaks one tackle, can't get away from, he does get away from Bubba Bullard, and he'll pick up 9. So he gets back the yardage lost and a little extra.
Well, Bueno, 6'5", 245, big guy, got good athleticism. We talked about it. He'll break tackles when he can get outside. He's got to avoid taking those sacks.
37, Bueno to throw. Going to check it down the flats for Marcus Duncan. OPP hits him. Ball comes free. And Auburn right there. Johnny on the spot to recover it.
Well, that was Ben Grant, the one that jumped on there. Like you said, OPP hits Duncan after the catch. They go with a little check down. That's definitely a fumble. And a big hit there by OPP, the reigning defensive player of the week, and wants to put himself up there for the nomination once again.
So now, Mike, Auburn an opportunity here to try and take this lead.
Oh, they're saying drop pass to Chat, but he caught that and made a football move, tried to turn upfield. OPP hits him, forces the fumble, and Auburn with an opportunity to take the lead.
3-man rush, Jelkic stepping up, throwing in the middle of the field. That's Crossfray the third. He'll pick up 16 yards. And, Mike, the trend so far for Auburn has been they work well for the first play of the drive, and then after that, they go 3 plays and punt.
Well, we'll see if that continues. We know Auburn can be explosive. They can hit those posts down the middle to McKenzie and Bubba Davis. They can hit Cross-Ferry on the outside. Right now, they're still kind of finding a rhythm. Maybe a little bit of Miami beating them the last 2 seasons, playing in the back of their mind.
Jelkic 5 of 6 so far and 49 yards through the air. Robert Davis trying to run this one, but this Miami defense, Mike, very stout, holding Davis only 7 yards on 4 carries.
Well, coming in, they were only 7th in the league against the run, but they're looking like the #1 run defense right now is Robert Davis just not finding any room to work.
He had trouble with that last week. Again, got held to less than 50 yards. It was the first game all season that he had less than 100 against Florida. As this pass for Jelkic, a check down for Robert Davis, and Davis, he's got power, shows it there to pick up the first down.
Well, we seem to say this a lot with Robert Davis. If you can't get him going running, throwing the ball. Although last week he only had 4 catches for 30 yards, so overall Florida did a really good job. Miami might have learned something from that.
Push in the backfield of Davis, and the handoff. Robert Davis running upfield. He'll pick up 8 yards, and that's 2nd down and 2, the longest run of the night for Davis.
Well, a good job there by Auburn. They're trying to get him going. They can't get him going traditionally, so they bring the receiver in motion, freeze that backside end, and they get him an 8-yard gain.
High formation here. Robert Davis breaks one, fights through another. They'll give him the first down. It's 1st and goal from the 9.
Well, credit to them. They keep feeding him. And in a short gain like that, you can go with that 3-yard average and pick up the first, which they did. Now they got a couple of shots at the end zone.
High formation again. Davis outside to the right. Robert Davis fighting, dragging a man all the way down to the 4. That was Justin Time who was along for the ride.
Well, I thought he was going to break through that for a second, but a good job there by Justin Time to hold on to him and bring him down. Looks like we might get one more play here before the end of the first quarter unless they get it in for a touchdown.
Bunch to the left, Jelkic a throw, end zone caught. Crossberry the third for 6.
It looked like they had double slants going over the middle. They had Ferry with Michael McKenzie behind him. They go underneath the Ferry. He holds on to it in traffic. Well thrown ball by Griffin Jelkic. Auburn does what they need to. They convert after the turnover, and they take the lead.
Cook makes this a 3-point game. And Mike, a great opening drive for Miami, but since then, they have watched a 7-point lead dwindle to a 3-point deficit.
Well, it's still very early, and it's only in the first quarter, but Miami hasn't looked good on offense, and Auburn's offense is starting to get going, so they're definitely going to need to start making some plays on both sides of the ball.
Blaze Gunner, not quite the return he had on the previous kick return. This one only out to the 25, and one play here for this Miami offense.
Yeah, we'll see if they just hand it off to Marcus Duncan. Pistol full house, so it looks like a run.
Read option, but OPP was not fooled. Down goes Bueno, and that is how we end the first quarter. Auburn up 3, and they've seemingly captured the momentum. Can Miami get it back? You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. Start of the second quarter here tonight, and Jose Bueno will start in the gun, flanked by 2 backs. Blitz coming, and it gets home. Down goes Bueno again. This sack for a loss of 5.
Well, they brought the blitz and the walk-on Brandon Horton getting in there, and we saw it mentioned in chat earlier, a lot of sacks in this one, and Auburn bringing some pressure, and they're getting through. Miami's just not able to pick them up, and they're making it, and also not great vision by Jose Bueno has contributed to some, but right now, Auburn's defense is doing what they need to. Miami needs to change up what they're doing offensively.
Long third down upcoming for a Miami offense that coming into tonight had only given up 3 sacks, one of the best in the league, is Bueno downfield, and a jump ball caught by Blaze Gunner. That's a 43-yard gain all the way down inside the Auburn 40.
Well, they took a blitz again, and Bueno sees it. They pick it up. He decides to take the shot. It's one-on-one with Blaze Gunner on Jaquan Jackson, the 3-star senior, and the 5-star sophomore wide receiver comes down with it. Big play there by Miami. I said they need to change up what they're doing, and they execute it well there.
All the way out to the Auburn 37. Play fake. Bueno, 3-man rush this time. He's going to check it down for the walk-on. And the ball comes free again, courtesy Ollie P. Peters. And picking it up is Mark Calloway, who gets tracked down at the 47 of Auburn territory. But, Mike, 2 forced fumbles by Ollie P. Peters here tonight.
My mouth is agape right now. I couldn't believe it. Back-to-back drives. Well, OPP comes up with a fumble. We've only seen 2 forced fumbles in a game one other time from what I can remember, and that was Nate Jones back in the Michigan days, season 2 or season 3. OPP does it on back-to-back drives here, really giving his team an opportunity to pull ahead.
Griffin Jelkic going to start this drive from the pistol, and handoff here for Robert Davis. Davis with a big hole there as he makes the cut to pick up 17 yards.
Michael McKenzie out there with that pancake block, laying out his former teammate Leroy Sanders and opening up the running room there for his running back.
So, Mike, now the question becomes, how do you follow that up with a big run like that?
You just keep doing more of the same.
Jelkic, bubble screen right side, and a big hit dished out there for Bubba Davis, who had to absorb the contact from Perry Pennell.
Yeah, Pennell trying to take some notes from OPP, trying to get in there and force one loose there, but Bubba Davis, one of the more sure-handed receivers in the league, holds on for the short gain.
Pennell, 5th tackle, as Scott Fountain asking whether or not players can win Player of the Week multiple times, and yes, they can, and OPP trying to make sure he's on that list again as Jelkic into double coverage, and Pennell there to bat it away.
Well, Devin Quill was over there too. I thought maybe Quill got his hands on it, but Pennell gets credit for the deflection, but almost a mistake there for Jelkic, and we'll see what he does here on 3rd and 8.
Auburn yet to convert on 3rd downs here tonight, this being their 3rd try at it, as Jelkic, halfback screen right side, Robert Davis, he's got blocking, and he's got the first down as he tried to hurdle a man and got pushed out of bounds for his efforts.
Well, that's the key to running these halfback screens, is getting good blocking downfield. Auburn got it there, and Davis was able to pick up the first.
Back in the pistol is Auburn in the red zone. And the pass over to the left side for Bubba Davis out in the flats. He'll pick up 3.
Yeah, just a nice little out route there. They find Davis. Short pass there. Jelkic has been pretty conservative. 10 of 12, 81 yards. Really not hesitating any shots deep. I suspect we're going to see some, though, as this game progresses.
Davis in the backfield for the triple option as Jelkic keeps it, pitched it late, and Miami will fall upon it and recover it. That's Leroy Sanders with the recovery.
Well, that was a great read by Jelkic to go ahead and hold on to that one, but then he makes a bad decision to pitch it late, which I'm not sure why he did. Leroy Sanders, the former Tiger, jumps on top of the ball. 3 turnovers via fumble in this game already here in the first half.
Play fake, Bueno middle, and that pass caught as Andre Woodard makes that grab for 11 as Callaway tried to force yet another fumble.
Man, these teams are hitting, and they've got some big players on defense. That might not be the last fumble we see tonight, David.
Still early here, too, as we just entered the 6-minute mark of this second quarter as Bueno onto the flats for Marcus Duncan. He'll pick up 3 before stepping out of bounds.
I have a feeling at some point we're going to scan over to the sideline. We're going to see a player on the phone. He's be calling his mommy, asking him to get him out of this because these two defenses are hitting.
2nd and 7. Bueno. Handoff, Marcus Duncan. He's got a crease, and he's fighting with Ambrose McDanielson before he goes all the way out to the Miami 45-yard line, a gain of 22 on just his 3rd carry.
David, we got to watch this. I think that ball started to come loose. OPP was in there again, trying to get another one out. Something has fired up OPP senior last season here at Auburn and having a heck of a season.
Going to make back-to-back player of the week candidacy is Bueno keeping it. Got to be careful because there's OPP with the tackle.
It'd be 3 straight weeks of candidacy. Finished runner-up 2 weeks ago to Jonathan Green, who had 3 picks. This week beat out Devin Hill, who had 3 picks for defensive player of the week. Trying to get up there for the 3rd straight week.
Ollie P. Peters, 6 tackles, 3 for a loss tonight as Marcus Duncan goes down. Jaquan Jackson got back there to stop him at the line of scrimmage. Good
job there by Jackson to shut that down on the outside, force the medium 3rd and 5. Still some options that Miami can go with here. Nick Bagg, bottom of the screen, best option.
2 tight ends on the field. They're going to motion one of them over to the right. Halfback screen again for Marcus Duncan. And there again to meet him is Ollie P. Peters, but Duncan fought through, got away, and yet still came up short of the first down as Myers got the tackle.
Yeah, Duncan's a powerful back, and he was able to power through a little bit there. Wasn't quite able to get the first down, though, as Callaway got him from behind, and Auburn gets Miami off the field again.
It's punt fielded from inside the 15 for Cross Ferry the 3rd, and he'll come out to the 27, and we'll take this moment to give a shout-out to everybody in chat here. See, we got Brandon, Ben Miller, or B. Mills, Jacob Schneider, You Can Do It, Ted Stern, Nighthawk, Matt Pack, Mike Lewis. Got Scott Fountain, Allie Peters in here, and anybody else, Devin Davis, Steady Games, that dude, anybody else I might have missed, I apologize, as Robert Davis starts this drive going backwards thanks to Perry Pennell.
Well, Perry Pennell seeing what OPP's doing on the other side, and he wants a little bit of that action himself. And he tried to come up and force a fumble on the last drive, comes up with a tackle for loss there. He's having himself a nice game.
Single back set, Jelkic under center. 5-step drop, throwing over to the right side. That's Cross Ferry the 3rd, and he's going to pick up 12 of the 13 needed for a very easy 3rd down.
Yeah, he runs out a little bit short of the marker. It's going to set up a 3rd and 1. It was a nice game, but it would have been nice to see him get that first.
And off Davis, can't get there, can't even get back to the line of scrimmage thanks to the walk-on Brent Everett.
Well, it was a good job there by the Miami defense. They had 2 guys on the play side of the ball carrier. They had 1 guy coming from the backside. Too many guys for Auburn, the block there. Nothing doing, and so they shut it down, and they'll get the ball back here after the punt.
And Mike, kind of what we saw a little bit last season or earlier last week is a lot of defense showing up here in the middle of the second quarter.
Well, we did, and then we saw Auburn start to find their sea legs, so to speak, and kind of run away with that one. Miami's got to be careful. Learn from Florida. They're learning how to shut down Robert Davis. Got to learn how to make sure they don't fall in the same traps offensively that Florida did.
Pistol set for Jose Bueno. Play fake. Bueno with time, floats in, and that's intercepted. Jaquan Jackson trying to run it back, and he'll get out to the 30. That's the third turnover tonight by Miami.
Well, Auburn is just ball hockeying tonight. They were number 2 in the league in takeaways coming into this game. They got 3 more here just in the first half. The former champs won partially based on their defense, and it's showing out big in this game. They don't want to lose the 3rd straight to Miami.
This reminds me of the USC-Michigan game from last week, where that game was played close, but 4 turnovers by Michigan really hurt them as Jelkic picks up a yard on the quarterback draw.
And Jelkic, or Auburn rather, continuing to try to change it up as much as they can. They go with the quarterback draw. I don't necessarily like it on first down, but just another thing for this Miami defense to think about.
From the gun, 4 wide. Draw play here, this time for Robert Davis, and he'll pick up positive yardage, getting 4 there, and now 3rd and 5.
Well, they're keeping Davis bottled up. He's only averaging 3.5 yards per carry. And so the key now is, can they get him off the field here on this 3rd and 5?
Jelkic flanked by Davis. Jelkic to throw. Taking a shot. He wants the end zone. Back of it. And that pass incomplete as it sails through and really got thrown into double coverage. So out again comes Friar Cook.
Well, that's where we've seen the growth of Griffin Jelkic. Previous seasons, he might have tried to force that in there in the double coverage, get it turned over. This time he just overthrows it through the back of the end zone, sets up the field goal, Cook converts.
So Friar Cook nails it from 42 yards out. And Auburn now makes this a 6-point game, but still in reach for Miami as Blaze Gunner thought he had a crease, but it closed quickly.
Well, it's hard to return this season. We talked about it before. We don't really know what it is. I just want to point this out. We talked about all the struggles with field goals in this league. Friar Cook right now, 44 of 49 on field goals in his career. Never missed an extra point either.
Jose Bueno, read option keeper, breaking free, and Bueno gets across midfield before Callaway stops him. It's a 28-yard run for the quarterback.
I'm going to do the quick math in my head because I'm looking at, pretty sure that's 89% accuracy by Friar Cook there. Jose Bueno, we talked about it. He's a big guy. He can shake off tackles. He's got good speed on the outside. Nice job there. Miami's going to have to use that read option. Not so much him scrambling, but use the read option, use Duncan to try to take some of the pressure away. If they could do that, they could move the ball against this defense.
And off the walk-on, running left, and the walk-on's got a ton of room. That's Keith Cross out to the 31.
Well, Keith was doing his little crossover there as he was bobbing and weaving through traffic. Looked like Tim Hardaway over there with the killer crossover, making Bubba Bullard look funky on that one. So a nice little run and a big first down for Miami.
Jose Bueno in the pistol. 2 tight ends, 1 to either side of the formation here for him. And Duncan's going to get the carry, running right. A stiff arm for Duncan, and with another, they get him out to the 25.
That's kind of like your thunder and lightning, or maybe the lightning came first when they gave it to the walk-on, and then Duncan just over there stiff arming Pools, basically punching him in the mouth as he's running downfield with his left hand.
4 wide here, and blitz coming by Oli P. Peters, but in the back of the end zone, it got picked off by Jaquan Jackson, but he stepped out of bounds.
OPP came unabated off of the blind side there, and Bueno just got rid of it, almost threw a pick, but fortunate that he gets to go for it on 3rd and 3.
Bueno throwing that pass dropped over the middle due to the contact there of the coverage.
Well, they could have went to Nick Bagg, was also underneath, but good coverage there by Auburn, keeping everything in front of it. Could have rallied to either one of them, and now they forced the field goal.
And Rigby Bronson cannot put it through, pushed it too far to the left.
Well, Bronson's had a good season, was 8 of 10 coming into this game, but he sees the GOAT kicker on the other side, Friar Cook, just can't produce in the shadow of that greatness.
He was intimidated by just how efficient and consistent Friar Cook has been in his career. Is that pass for Bubba Davis, and he gets out to the 28-yard line. Auburn takes a timeout.
It's almost as if Rigby Bronson was looking at the Temple of Greatness on the other side of the field.
Jelkic to throw, pressure coming. He's going to take off and run. Jelkic gets out of the pocket, and he will slide down to the 38-yard line.
Griffin Jelkic's not a little guy either. 6'4", 220. Not quite the athleticism of Bueno, but enough, and he shows it there getting the first.
Jelkic going to give it here. Robert Davis to the inside, powering his way forward out to the 44-yard line. Auburn takes their second timeout.
Scar is asking about the league. You could do it. Jimbo, the AD of Ohio State, has given you some insight. Oh, big hit there on the outside for Bubba Davis. 14-team simulation league. All 14 teams run by user ADs. Most of the players that you see in the field are the people you see in chat. Create a player, get recruited, pick your team, and watch your career unfold on the field.
Jelkic, one of those players, and he throws that into a very dangerous situation as Devontae Quill was there to bat it down. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, dangerous throw there. Jelkic looking a little erratic here. That's the second time he's almost had one pick off. He's going to have to settle down.
Jelkic throwing to the left side. Matt Suarez catches it at the 34-yard line.
Well, the 3-star comes up with another catch there, but they're going to review it. I think he got his foot down, and I think that's going to be a nice pickup for Auburn.
Very tight window throw. The accuracy by Jelkic on display there.
After review the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So Mike, it does stand. Suarez with the grab on a perfect pass by Jelkic.
Yeah, nice throw there on the outside to get the first down, move the ball down to the 33.
Jelkic to throw again. Onto the flats, it's Ollie P. Peters, and Peters takes a big shot himself this time. It's a gain of 7, though.
OPP has been making a play on defense. Now they got him out there on offense, and he catches a pass.
They're going to go to him again as OPP goes backwards and then able to pick up the first down before he takes another shot at about the 22.
Is OPP going for Offensive Player of the Week, too?
I guess. Can he double up on both sides, I guess, becomes the question. Because here, 3 straight plays for OPP, and Peters picks up 9 yards that time, gets out of bounds, and out comes Friar Cook.
Now with 6 seconds left, they're going to go ahead and send Cook on again for his 3rd field goal attempt of the night, and they'll try to take the 9-point lead into the half.
30 yards out, and Friar Cook, as consistently as he has been, delivers. And as you say, Mike, a 9-point lead.
We'll see if they could do anything on the return, but Miami scored on their first drive of the game, haven't done anything since. Auburn's starting to take over.
So the return is all you get before halftime, and Miami maybe was banking on a big return there and hoping that Laurie Sanders or Blaze Gunner could break one, but instead, Mike, as we go to the studio, they're staring at a 9-point deficit despite a great opening drive.
Yeah, it was an excellent opening drive. They executed the halfback screen really well. Marcus Duncan looked great on that, but Auburn, to their credit, has rebounded nicely. They forced 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and an interception. They almost had another one. Bueno, outside of that first drive, hasn't looked really good. It's been a little shaken maybe by this Auburn defense. You see OPP that's come in there, forced 2 of the fumbles. Jaquan Jackson gets the interception. Bueno's going to have to turn things around. He was a big part of them winning the first 2 games this season. He's been a big part of them losing the last 2 games and being behind in this one. He needs to pull it together here in his senior season if he wants to lead his team to the playoffs.
Mike, as you look at the numbers there, Auburn leading in passing yards, Miami slight edge in that rushing total, but really the big difference, not only a minute in time possession for Auburn, but 3 turnovers by Miami.
Yeah, it's been really close statistically. It's just the turnovers that are killing drives for Miami. And like you said, you mentioned that Michigan USC game last week. If Michigan doesn't turn it over 4 times, maybe that's a different game. We'll see if Miami looks back at the end of this and says, man, those turnovers in the first half are what cost us. They still got an opportunity, though, much like Michigan did. We'll see if they're able to capitalize on it. One thing I want to throw out there, OPP asked in chat, can she win Offensive Player of the Week with those new archetypes that we just unveiled on the podcast? There is an opportunity that somebody could win Defensive Player of the Week as a defensive position. The next week play offense and win Offensive Player of the Week. That'll be an interesting thing to watch.
Definitely something to see unveiled, as Carlos Perry III would like for Perry Pennell to not get unveiled in his face.
Well, yeah, Perry Pennell, we talked about it. He's having himself a nice game. He's a hard hitter, gets out there. He's making his presence known.
And off for Robert Davis, and Davis finding a crease, picking his way across, showing the vision there. Still technically a live play, and they finally mark it dead after a 7-yard run.
I'm pretty sure Robert Davis got knocked out and was just laying dead across the back of that defender.
Well, he's back on the field, and they're
Where's concussion protocol?
Not administering that here tonight is Jelkic taking a shot downfield, and somebody filed for, I guess air raid protection. I'm not sure what I'm going for there, but Leroy Sanders going for the interception. He comes down with it.
Well, he's got a fumble recovery against his former team. Now he's got an interception. They're going for Bubba Davis. Leroy jumps it, picks it off. He really wants to beat his former team. They cut him in the offseason. He's got something to prove, and he's doing well now.
So Mike, we saw at the half 3 turnovers for Miami, only 1 for Auburn. Now the scale is 3-2 here. It's a little bit more even.
Well, it is starting to balance out a little bit, and if they balance it out even more, Miami's going to be in good shape.
The gun, Blaze Gunner coming in motion, a little jet sweep here, but chasing him down was Bubba Bullard, and it's only a 2-yard run.
Yeah, Bubba Bullard, Blaze wasn't able to outrun him, and he does a good job of diving for the string tackle there and limiting him to a 2-yard gain.
Pistol set for Bueno. Wide receiver screen, right side. That's Nick Bagg, his first catch of the night, and it goes for a first down, an 11-yard gain.
Well, it was a good job there by Andre Woodard to get his block and set that up and create some room for Bagg to get out on the outside and pick up that first.
3 wide again, Nick Bagg, single receiver, top the screen. Marcus Duncan, counter run to the left side. He's got the first down out across the 30.
He was still fighting. These running backs doing a good job of not going down, although I still am going to claim that Robert Davis was temporarily out of it.
He did not look like he was trying to get back up on that play.
Marcus Duncan, on the other hand, was like a beached whale laying across the back of that defender.
Bueno to throw with a blitz in his face, and he's going to get through by taking off and running, and then Jaquan Jackson stands him up for Ben Grant to stop him. It's a 13-yard run, though, and a new set of downs.
Well, if you're going to take off and run into the back of your lineman, it's best that you bounce off of him, keep going. Bueno does a good job of that there to get him inside the 20.
Bueno to throw to the middle of the field. There's the big receiver, Nick Bagg, coming up with the 9-yard catch.
Well, we've only seen him twice now, so a nice little catch over the middle by Nick Bagg. They need to see more of him. He and Blaze Gunner are the key to getting an opening up room for Bueno and Duncan to run the ball, and we just haven't really seen them that much today.
From the 8-yard line, and this is a spot where a big receiver like Nick Bagg can really help you. But instead, they're going to turn to the running back and Marcus Duncan. He can help you down here, too, and he'll get a yard to make it 3rd and 1.
Well, Bubba Bullard is tired of hearing about Micah Myers and OPP and Mark Callaway, and he's coming up playing good, especially on this drive. His 5th tackle of the game, forcing the 3rd and 1.
This will set 2 tight ends left. Play fake. Bueno just going to take off and run, and Jose Bueno did not get in for the touchdown.
What? He took off and he was following his backup tight end, Sean Lewis. I thought he should have stayed outside. They go inside. I don't know how that's not a touchdown.
I'm going to say the ball did not break the plane, so 1st and goal. And Bueno's going to give it to Marcus Duncan, who touchdown vultured the touchdown vulture.
Yeah, well, and you talk about Bueno back when he was at Notre Dame with Joe Pantoja. That was the accusation that Bueno was a touchdown vulture, taking Pantoja's touchdowns at the goal line. Well, Marcus Duncan does it to him there, his 4th of the season, and now Miami only down by 2.
And they capitalize on that interception, Micah, and they drive the length of the field. They're able to get points off that. How does Auburn rebound from that, and what would you call in response to that?
I don't think they're necessarily in a bad spot right now. It's only the 2nd drive they've given up. It's been the opening drive of each half, and then Auburn's adjusted to it. So I think right now you just want to concentrate on offense, move the ball down the field, don't turn it over like you did on the last drive, and try to get some points and then let your defense adapt like they've been doing.
Pistol set. Read option keeper, Griffin Jelkic trying to get outside, and Devontae Quill shed the block in time to light up Jelkic.
Yeah, big hit there by Quill. I want to remind everybody that coming up, we got another game on the slate as SEC action continues. The Alabama Crimson Tide struggling a little bit at 1-3. Going to go into Death Valley and take on the LSU Tigers, who are 3-1. Be sure to tune in for that one at about 30 minutes after this game ends.
Davis with the carry there, picks up 3, 3rd and 5 upcoming, Mike.
Davis still struggling getting going, only 3.9 yards per carry. And so again, Miami seems to have learned from Florida last week. And right now, Auburn's offense struggling a little bit overall.
Jelkic a throw. Over into the flats. That pass caught by the tight end, Michael McKenzie. He's able to squeak out that first down, but only just. And Mike, McKenzie's first catch of the night.
Yeah, and the not using McKenzie is probably part of the reason they haven't been as explosive on offense. I thought Jericho Jones had an opportunity to pick that, just wasn't quite quick enough.
Lead option keeper Griffin Jelkic turn inside. He's got some power there. Ran through just in time to get the first down.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Jelkic 6'4", 220, not a little man. And he powers his way forward and picks up the first.
Auburn emptying out the backfield here as Davis comes in motion over to the left. And they're going to throw it that way for Davis on the screen, but the Miami defense brings him down quickly. It's a loss of 3. James, the first man there.
Yeah, too many defenders, not enough blockers. They actually released Jericho James there instead of holding the block on him, and they 3 and 2 downfield, and James gets in there to slow him down just in time there to finish it off for the tackle for loss.
Want to remind everybody that if you're loving what you're seeing and you're loving this CFSL action and you're loving the broadcast, do not forget to leave a like. You can do that here on YouTube as Robert Davis picks up 2 yards and makes a long third down a little less long.
Yeah, it is a little bit different. Twitch, they don't have that. And here on YouTube, you can like the video and help boost it up, whatever their algorithm is. So if you guys like the video, we definitely appreciate it.
Jokic a throw, this long third down, out of bounds, and Bubba Davis can't stay in long enough to make the catch.
Well, this is as uncomfortable, maybe I'll say, that Griffin Jelkic has looked all season long. He only got 140 yards passing. He's turned the ball over once. Miami's defense doing a really good job at keeping Auburn from really getting going.
And technically, Jelkic has turned the ball over twice because he fumbled it with the pitch.
Well, that's true, and that's probably playing a little bit, maybe in his psyche a little bit. You got to watch how this goes, not only the rest of this game, but down the season. Does that get into his head a little bit?
9th drive of the night for the Miami Hurricanes, and they will start their own 27. Is Bueno to throw, going to take off and run instead, and he's got close to the marker before Ollie P. Peters greets him pretty harshly there at 2nd and 1.
I see Nighthawk talking about the play on words with just in time, and I don't know, I have a hard time doing it. I feel like once we do it once or twice, everybody's already got the joke.
Slant pattern left side, and Blaze Gunner able to hold on and stumble for 12 yards.
Well, the 5-star beats the 3-star. They're off of the press on the slant route, and a nice throw there by Bueno to get the first down.
2 backs in the backfield to flank Jose Bueno here. As he'll stand in. Throwing flats right side for for Keith Cross to walk on. He gets stopped pretty quickly for a loss of 4 by Ben Grant.
They tried to clear out that side as they brought Woodard in motion to the backside, but they weren't in man coverage, so the defender didn't follow him. So then they had too many defenders out there. Should have went with a different play. When they saw he wasn't a man, they ran it anyway, and it goes for a loss of yards.
Backed up on the Miami side of their own 45-yard line, and the handoff. Marcus Duncan fighting with Micah Myers. He'll pick up 8, and Duncan against Myers, Mike, has been a battle a lot tonight that we've seen.
Well, the few times that Duncan's got the ball, he's only got 9 carries, but Myers having himself a really good game, helping to keep him contained.
8th third down of the night for Miami. They're 3 of 7 on their previous ones. Is this little halfback screen for Keith Cross, who gets lit up by Ambrose McDanielson.
Yeah, McDanielson just joined. It's only his 2nd game with Auburn and making his presence felt, helping to get the stop there and force Miami to punt.
So this punt away and will bounce inside the 5. Mike, when Auburn just turned that over and they had to punt it back, and their offenses had some struggles tonight, only with a 2-point lead, you feel good when your defense gets a stop like that.
Well, you do, but the thing is now you got to keep from turning it over. I think Robert Davis is your key, and maybe some read options with Jelkic.
That pass over to the left side, coming back for that was Matt Suarez. He'll get 8 yards and make this a very manageable 2nd down, as Kevin Brackett, a name not called tonight, often made that tackle.
A little curl route there, and you see how off Griffin Jelkic is there as he leads him too far back.
And off, Davis gets stopped on his own offensive lineman and then stumbles forward just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, the 3-star junior defensive end Pat Snyder gets the push on the outside, pushes the lineman back into Davis, and helps to stumble him up.
Auburn 2 of 7 on their third downs here tonight. And Jelkic keeping it on the read option, and he gets lit up. A hard hit being dished out by Brackett.
Well, he must have heard you saying that we haven't been talking about him, so he comes up and he lays the lumber. Perry Pinnell's been getting most of the calls on defense, but Brackett making his presence felt.
Michael McKenzie in motion to make this an offset eye look. It's Jelkic, 5-step drop. Quick throw, right sideline. That's Crossberry the third, and it's a first down.
Just a little out route, and they find Ferry. Nice delivery there by Griffin. Jelkic moves the ball, gets the first down. They just got to keep moving the ball just like this.
4 wide. And off here, Robert Davis running right. He's got that first down as Brackett tried to bring him down, but couldn't. It's a 12-yard run for Davis.
Well, Davis finally got that yards per carry over 4.1, just in time in there for the tackle. Now I wouldn't mind seeing a read option, although they're bringing a blitz off the left side.
Just a full house. Triple option, and Jelkic this time decides to hold on and doesn't pitch it, and that costs him a yard as Jericho James gets in for the tackle.
Well, you got to wonder if that fumble plays a role there, because he had Robert Davis. The right idea was to pitch it there, but he doesn't. He holds on to it, takes the loss, and we'll see if that affects the drive.
See if Auburn will snap it here. And they will with a second on the clock. 5-step drop, quick throw. That's Michael McKenzie. Turn upfield, gets down inside the 35-yard line of Miami. And we end the third quarter in a very close one. Auburn only up by 2 over the visiting Miami Hurricanes. Very tight game. Stick around to see this exciting conclusion. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. Start of the fourth quarter, Miami showing blitz. 5-step drop, Jelkic dancing. He wants the end zone. Jump ball, pass batted away. And that brings us to fourth down for the Tigers.
Well, the 4-star Devontae Quill was in coverage there on the 5-star cross Ferry. We said we hadn't seen Jelkic take a shot yet. He took one there and almost got it picked off.
This will be a 52-yard field goal attempt from the left hash, and Fryer Cook puts it through.
Automatic. That's all I can say. Fryer Cook, automatic, as he makes his 4th field goal. He is now 17 of 18 on the season. Impressive how accurate and automatic that kicker has been.
So Auburn's 10th drive of the night spans 8 plays and results in the 52-yard field goal for Fryer Cook. Meanwhile, we get a look at Miami's 10th drive, and Mike, they're only down by 5 points.
Well, they are, but they've only got 2 touchdowns, and it was the opening drive of each possession, or the opening drive of each half, and we'll see if they can put one together outside of that. OPP big play.
Peters in the backfield, putting Duncan on his back. Peters 8 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss here tonight, and that's to go with his 2 forced fumbles.
I mean, had 12 tackles, I think it was 2 tackles for a loss and a pick last week, or 2 picks. Now, I don't know. It's going to be hard to keep OPP out of the conversation again for Defensive Player of the Week.
Went over the middle, Nick Bagg fighting forward. He'll pick up enough yardage to make this 3rd and 2 and make it close and manageable, but can Miami convert?
Well, I would say you might want to look at a read option between Duncan and Bueno. Callaway and OPP are the keys to stuff in this.
Bueno going to take off and run. He's got the first down and more as he gets out to the Miami 45. It's gain of 7.
Well, when Bueno gets free and he can pick up the first down, you love it. When he's getting bottled up by his line and stumbling and gets sacked, you hate it. You got to kind of live and die with it, and right there, Bueno executes.
Pistol set, Bueno to throw, pressure coming, and Jose Bueno can't get out of it. Down he goes for a loss of 8.
And who is it there? Micah Myers had 3 tackles for loss in the first half, gets a sack here, and makes this a 2nd and 18. We talked about this on the podcast. A sack early on a drive can end the drive and effectively work as a forced turnover. We'll see if Miami can recover from it.
Hurricanes again in another long second down. This one, 2nd and 18. It's Bueno off the play fake, takes a shot into double coverage, and that pass intercepted. Mark Callaway getting across midfield.
It's not an ideal person to take a shot at. He gets his first interception of the season. Even though it's only his first, he is good in coverage. It's a double coverage situation there with the reigning defensive player of the year. Not an ideal throw there by Bueno. Callaway comes up with it. Yet another turnover for this Auburn defense.
Back to the Miami 49. That's where Griffin Jelkic and this Auburn offense takes over. Jelkic, quick throw, Robert Davis out to the 40. It's a gain of 9.
Well, at this point, you know Friar Cook is automatic on field goals. You only need about 7 yards to get him in range. You really want to touch a touchdown. Maybe puts this away. Biggest thing, you just want to take time off the clock.
Braxton Lee was there to make the tackles. Jelkic pumps right. 3-man rush. Jelkic steps up, but down he goes. Pat Snyder sacks him for a loss.
Pat Snyder created that tackle for a loss on the last drive as he pushed the tackle back in to Robert Davis. This time he cuts inside and he gets the sack. And now it's going to be 3rd and 5. If they end this drive here, it was all created by Pat Snyder.
Griffin Jelkic to throw. Looking. Middle of the field, double coverage, and there to bat it away the Miami defense.
Braxton Lee gets his hands in there, just sneaks it in front, knocks that pass away. Excellent defensive play there and forces Auburn to punt it away, and now we'll see what this Miami offense can do. They've only got maybe 2 more possessions in them. They're going to need to do something with them.
That punt goes through the end zone, and Mike, to your point, Miami only needs a touchdown at this point, or for those 2 drives to end in field goals, the way their defense has been playing.
Well, the way the offense has been playing, they can't do it unless it's the first drive of the half, so something's got to give.
Well, here's Bueno taking a shot for Blaze Gunner. A first down across midfield.
Ambrose McDanielson, the new addition out there, is a little bit late in coverage, getting over there to cover. Blaze Gunner can't give him that much space, and a perfectly dropped in ball there by Bueno to get the big gain.
Blaze Gunner been fairly busy tonight, although this Miami offense is not taking a lot of shots downfield. It's only like their 3rd shot that they've taken. As Bueno read option keeper and Mark Callaway, the first man back there to send him backwards.
Well, I want to say it wasn't necessarily the bad read there, just a hard spot there as he gave it to him. Either way, I think Callaway's going to blow it up. When you got a player of that caliber, it's hard to make the right decision every time.
That's a 4. 2nd and 14, Bueno to throw. Standing in, 3-man rush. That pass short, and making the grab over the middle is Andre Woodard. He'll get 11.
Yeah, it's only his 2nd catch of the game, and not able to get to these outside guys very often. Is Jose Bueno going to have to find ways to get them open if you want to get a touchdown downfield.
Down to the Auburn 40. Here's a play fake. Bueno floats that one for Woodard, and he'll get down inside the 25 before the Auburn defense can catch him.
That was a nice pass there as Woodard's covered by OPP, but he's got him beat. He floats it over the head of Callaway, drops it in nicely, and gets the first down. Excellent read there by Bueno.
Ali P. Peters, 9 tackles here tonight. It's Bueno from the 24. He'll start in the gun, 2-by-2 look. Read option keeper. Bueno going to work his way down inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 9.
And this is what Miami needs to do. They need to go read option. They need to go play action. They need to take some medium shots over the middle. They're doing exactly that, and that's why they're down inside the 15.
Micah Myers, 8 tackles, 4 for a loss. Blitz coming, and Bueno wisely lets that one sail through the back of the end zone, 3rd and a yard.
Yeah, he was looking at Nick Bagg there, but he was basically triple coverage, so he just throws it away, lives to fight another day. I wouldn't mind seeing Marcus Duncan just pound it up the middle, let him get the first.
2 tight ends on the field, 1 to either side. Bueno, 3 steps, and really not even that, just step and throw for Nick Bagg, who gets the first down.
We saw them go to Blaze Gunner earlier in the game on that exact same play against Jaquan Jackson. This time they go to Nick Bagg over there. Same result, first down.
Nick Bagg has not seen a lot of action tonight, but when he has stepped up and made some pretty clutch catches for this Miami offense. It's Bueno to throw again. This one nearly intercepted by OPP.
Who else? OPP getting in there to swat that one away. Has had a huge game yet again, 3rd week in a row. And they're going to need him and Callaway to come up big if they don't want to give up this lead.
Across the midway point of this fourth quarter, Bueno onto the flats and trying to scoop it up was Ben Grant, but it's 3rd and goal for the Hurricanes.
Grant had his first career interception gift wrap there, but couldn't hold on to it. Miami still with a shot to take the lead.
Halfback screen right side. There's Marcus Duncan running over there, but he's only going to get a yard. Mark Calloway had it sniffed out.
Well, they had decent blocking initially, but then Callaway gets through there. Like you said, I don't know if I like this here. I mean, they don't get down here very often, but a field goal puts them only down by 2.
12th play of the drive. Bueno trying to stand in. Pressure gets home, and down he goes, and Auburn will take over.
The walk-on Justin Hill, triple team, still fights through it. Great coverage downfield by the Auburn defense. I hate that play call. Take the field goal, depend on your defense to get a stop, and then you leave yourself with only a shot at getting one more field goal. Maybe they lost some confidence in Rigby Bronson, who missed one earlier. Either way, that might have been the game for Miami.
Auburn takes over ball spot at their own 15, and Robert Davis going to get the carry, trying to run the clock out as Davis nearly went backwards and instead picks up 6 yards.
You might be thinking to yourself, well, maybe Miami needs a fumble right here. Let me tell you something. Robert Davis only fumbled twice in his career, and that was in his freshman season, has not fumbled the last 3 seasons.
Going to go right back to Robert Davis, who runs inside. He'll pick up that first down where Perry Pinnell drags him down. It's a 7-yard run. It's Davis trying to maybe get 100 yards here tonight. Would be the 4th time he's done so this season.
Well, if he fumbles, Auburn is absolutely going to roast me.
Strong eye to the right. Davis gets a carry. Stoddard shows a vision, takes a hard hit from Perry Pinnell, but it's a gain of 9, and Miami takes the timeout.
Yeah, and right now Robert Davis is doing what they brought him in here for. He's taking over this game and helping them solidify a win.
Davis running left. He's got that first down once again, this time 6 yards. Miami, their 2nd timeout called.
They have 1 left, so they still get an opportunity to get the ball back, but they're going to have to crack down here and get some stops.
Davis running right this time. He's got blocking. Robert Davis picks up 9 yards, 2nd and 1.
OPP was out there, didn't get a great block, but slowed him down enough to get a few extra yards there, and a first down, and this game's over.
Davis has got that first down, stumbling down inside the Miami 40.
It looked like for a little bit there that Miami was going to have an opportunity to take the lead and win for the 3rd straight season against Auburn, but unless something crazy happens, Auburn's finally gotten over the hump and got the monkey off the back here against the Hurricanes.
And not only that, but they match a record that has only been accomplished once in CFSL history, 9 consecutive wins.
That's true. 9 straight wins here by the Tigers. Got an opportunity next week against Florida State to set the all-time record at 10.
Robert Davis trying to add to his rushing total. You mentioned that Auburn and Florida State game next week. Miami, on the other hand, they turn their sights back home as they will play host to the Alabama Crimson Tide. And Mike, still to come tonight, here in about 30 minutes, will be that very same Alabama team walking into Death Valley to take on the LSU Tigers.
Yeah, interesting matchup. Alabama's looking to turn their season around. LSU's been playing very well lately. Unlike Miami, who struggled with 4 turnovers tonight, they've now lost 3 in a row. Auburn moves to 5-0 on the season. Great job by them. Going to be an interesting game coming up next. Should be kicking off a little after 8:30, so be sure to tune in then.
So for Mike, I'm David, as Auburn manages to hold on in a defensive battle against the Miami Hurricanes. 19-14, our final score here from Jordan-Hare Stadium. For Mike, I'm David. We'll see you back in about 30 minutes.